If you want awesome products at great prices, check out the description. Keir Starmer's welfare reform bill faces a critical juncture, a single vote looming that could irrevocably shape his premiership. The initial trajectory pointed towards a resounding defeat, the first for Starmer's government in the House of Commons. However, a last-ditch compromise, brokered last week between government officials and key dissenting voices within the Labour Party, injected a sliver of uncertainty into the equation. While the deal ostensibly averted immediate disaster, the air remains thick with tension. Monday witnessed a chorus of Labour MPs voicing their reservations, asserting their inability to endorse the bill in its current form. A significant source of contention revolves around the controversial four-point system for personal independence payments, PIPs, scheduled for implementation in November 2026, irrespective of the pending government review. This inflexibility has ignited a firestorm of opposition. The stakes are incredibly high. With the outcome hanging precariously in the balance, Labour whips engaged in a frantic scramble throughout Monday, desperately canvassing support from wavering colleagues. The challenge facing party leadership is considerable. The opposition isn't monolithic, it's a diverse, decentralized movement lacking a single, unifying figurehead. However, several key figures, both within and outside Parliament, are wielding considerable influence, shaping the narrative and dictating the trajectory of this rebellion. Their voices, carefully observed and analysed, are crucial to understanding the unfolding drama. Among these pivotal figures stands Meg Hillier, MP for Hackney South and Shoreditch. Typically known for her impartial role as head of the Treasury Select Committee, Hillier's involvement as the lead signatory on the amendment challenging the bill marked a dramatic shift. This act provided the rebellion with the necessary impetus, forcing the government to concede. Her subsequent participation in last week's compromise negotiations underscores her pivotal role. While she played a crucial part in securing the deal, her subsequent questions in the House of Commons highlighted a lingering unease shared by many colleagues, suggesting the compromise might not be sufficient to quell all dissent. Debbie Abrahams, MP for Oldham East and Saddleworth, another key negotiator, shares a similar sentiment. As chair of the Work and Pensions Select Committee, her involvement in crafting the compromise was significant. Yet, mirroring Hillier's concerns, Abrahams publicly stated her reservations, believing the concessions insufficient. Her insistence that the PIP review should determine the points system, rather than predetermining it at 4 points, reveals a more hardened stance than Hillier, presenting a significant challenge for the whips attempting to secure her support. Louise Hay, MP for Sheffield Heeley, a former cabinet member, now occupies a powerful position as the unofficial leader of the Labour backbench's left wing. While her role has been less outwardly prominent than others, her behind-the-scenes maneuvering has been significant. She has actively tallied votes and contributed to shaping the language of the amendment, effectively acting as an unofficial whip for the rebels. Though initial reports suggested that Hay was appeased by the government's concessions, recent comments from her allies suggest lingering dissatisfaction with the government's handling of the situation. Marie Tidball, MP for Penistone and Stocksbridge, uniquely situated as one of Parliament's few visibly physically disabled MPs, remained largely silent on the bill for several weeks, despite her clear personal stake in the matter. While her name wasn't on the rebel amendment, she engaged in significant behind-the-scenes negotiations with the Treasury, even reportedly engaging in a tense exchange with Chancellor Rachel Reeves. Tidball's subsequent public declaration of her opposition in a Guardian article, along with her impassioned speech in the Commons highlighting the lack of public consultation, indicates a hardening of her position. Crucially, her voting intentions remain undisclosed, leaving Labour whips anxiously awaiting her decision. Rachel Maskell, MP for York Central, a consistent critic of Starmer, has emerged as a vocal advocate for the party's left wing. Her consistent opposition on various issues, from winter fuel payments to overseas aid cuts and WASPy women's compensation, paints a picture of unwavering principle. Party managers anticipate her opposition to the bill. Securing her support would be a considerable victory, potentially swaying a large segment of the remaining rebels. Finally, extending beyond the confines of Parliament, Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, adds another layer of complexity. While lacking a vote in the Commons debate, His weekend intervention urging MPs against supporting what he termed a 50% U-turn resonated deeply with the party's left wing. His stance, echoed by London Mayor Sadiq Khan, positions two of the UK's most influential Labour politicians outside Westminster in direct opposition to the Prime Minister, further amplifying the pressure on Starmer. The coming vote represents not merely a test of the bill itself, but a critical assessment of Starmer's leadership and the internal cohesion of the Labour Party. The weight of expectation rests heavily upon the shoulders of those few individuals whose decisions will ultimately define the fate of this critical piece of legislation. The nation watches, breathless, as this political drama unfolds.